The Jaeger is a terrifying force in the Outlast trials. Added to the game in a major update, this enemy is a towering, slow-moving nightmare that will lock onto a single player and hunt them without rest. While she may seem just like another mind-controlled monster created by the Murkoff Corporation, the person underneath the metal and scars has one of the most tragic stories in the game. Before she was a heartless hunter, she was a woman named Henrietta Grubbs. Henrietta Grubbs did not start out as a monster. According to in-game lore documents, she was originally a normal human trapped in a Sinyala facility as a test subject, or reagent. For the Project Lave 2 therapy during her early days in the trials, Henrietta wasn't alone. She had a romantic partner named Doris, who players know as the Shadowy Dame. The two of them survived the horrors of the trials together, but sadly the brutal nature of Sinyala changes people. Henrietta suffered terrible physical injuries during a trial, and this was the beginning of a dark path. When Murkoff got their hands on the badly injured Henrietta, they did not heal her, and instead they used her as a fresh canvas for their twisted science. They pumped her full of strong hormones to make her grow larger and painfully altered her bones. This cruel practice of messing with human growth and brainwashing heavily mirrors the secret CIA MK Ultra experiments from the real-world Cold War, where doctors abused vulnerable people to see if they could control human minds and bodies. After these forced changes, Henrietta was sent back into the trials as a heavy X-Pop, a larger and stronger enemy meant to hurt other players. Despite her ruined body, Henrietta still had a strong will. Murkoff's main killers, known as Prime Assets, are supposed to command the lesser enemies. However, Henrietta refused to listen to their cruel orders, and she ended up attacking Leland Coyle, the electric baton-wielding ex-cop, who we have covered, by the way. This was a fatal mistake, as Coyle beat her so badly that she was assumed dead. Like trash, her broken body was thrown into the dark biohazard processing area, but amazingly she didn't die. She survived alone in the darkness for months, even after all her food sources were cut off. She refused to give up, surviving on whatever scraps she could find in the pit. Murkoff eventually found her again after a major event where other subjects managed to escape. Seeing how tough she was, they decided to upgrade her into her final form, the Jaeger. Her visual design tells a story of pure suffering because the hormone treatments caused her bones to grow out of control. Murkoff drilled thick metal screws and rods directly into her skeleton to force her bones to stop growing. This design looks very much like a real-life medical device called the Lazarov, I might be pronouncing that incorrectly, forgive me, apparatus, which is a metal frame bolted into broken bones to reshape them. However, Murkoff uses it as a tool of torture rather than healing. They also placed a heavy metal mask on her head with a built-in radio receiver so they could broadcast orders directly into her brain. In the game, the Jaeger is designed to make players feel a slow, creeping panic. Unlike enemies who sprint and yell, she simply walks. The game assigns her one target at random, and she will follow that person, always knowing exactly where they are hiding. Gamers often compare her behaviour to the immortal snail joke on the internet, a thought experiment about a snail that slowly follows you forever, and if it touches you, you die. If she catches a player, it means instant death or massive damage. You cannot easily fight her, you can only throw a bottle to stagger her for a brief second before you have to run away again. This creates a tense feeling, forcing the targeted player to keep moving while their team tries to finish the level. The most heartbreaking part of the Jaeger is what remains of her mind. According to Murkoff's secret files, she suffers from something they call the Sinyala paradox, meaning she has found strange comfort in her hopeless situation. When her radio headpiece locks onto a player to hunt, her brain activity lights up in the exact same way a normal person's brain does when they look at someone they love. Because she lost Doris and everyone she cared about, her broken mind now views the people she is forced to murder as a twisted form of love she can never reach. Henrietta's story does not have a happy ending. She was never rescued, nor did she escape. Today she is forever trapped in the underground trials, a walking shell of a woman forced to endlessly hunt innocent people in the dark as Murkoff's ultimate tragic weapon.